talking about the heat and some risk of Beryl making some of its remnants as an appearance across southern Ontario. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. For the day today, right along the Golden Horseshoe, that's where we're going to be looking at the risk of some heat. We have some extreme heat, so we have heat warnings in place. Temperatures may climb to around 30 degrees, but 27 forecasted for Toronto. But with the humidity, it's going to feel like those low 30s, feeling closer to 33 for this afternoon. And all that heat, humidity, and some of those clearer skies, thanks to part of the region being in more of that high pressure or that ridge, is going to bring the risk of, well, some non-severe thunderstorms for the day today. It's going to be towards the western end of the region. However, small hail, heavy rainfall, and strong winds. And it's going to be as a warm front starts to creep into the area. That's what's going to be triggering some of these thunderstorms up towards regions of Orangeville into Kincardine as we're heading towards our afternoon and into the evening. And this is what I'm talking about. That warm front, that's going to trail on in. It's bringing plenty of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So it is going to be one of those days today where the hair's not going to cooperate because the humidity will win. On the back end, as we're heading into the day tomorrow, as this cold front moves on in, that's going to bring that colder air mass with it. So that's why we will be looking at the risk for some severe thunderstorms possibly tomorrow for the southern regions of southern Ontario. However, that's also going to bring a little bit of a relief to all of that heat. Now we're going to talk about Beryl. Beryl officially made landfall in Texas at 4 a.m. this morning, and that is still going to be a talking concern for us here in southern Ontario. And the reason is that this system is going through a ridge towards Atlantic Canada, a troughing up towards Western Canada, a very narrow region. So it's going to help to keep its system quite organized, bringing heavy rain to the region.
A hot summer day. But on a serious side, of course, heat can be very dangerous. And if we look at some of these values, Rhythm, I mean, these are easily, in many cases, 10 degrees warmer than the norm. And then, of course, that is not factoring in the humidex. And that's something that we continue to track.
And for British Columbia, it's going to be Tuesday when you see that peak of the heat. But that ridge is going to shift further towards the east. So Manitoba, by the end of the week into the weekend, that's when you're going to be dealing with a lot of that heat. Now, with this ridge as well, Anwar, that smoke, that's what's going to be pushed further towards the east. And one of the very interesting facts is as that ridge is pushing into areas like Edmonton today, their air quality is going to improve comparative to what they saw yesterday.
Right. So we still have some air quality advisories in extreme northern areas of Alberta, but looking at severe limit storms for northern Ontario today, again, some of the humidity being a part of that story.
Absolutely. And we have two different systems that are going to be causing some of this. The one towards the northern end, that's going to be your active storm track. We're looking at that cold front digging into all of that moisture, and down towards southern Ontario, it's a secondary low pressure system that's going to bring all that rain and plenty of moisture.
And then as we take a look at Hurricane Beryl that made landfall, the third and final landfall for this system early this morning.